You are facing a significant upcoming financial burden. You feel the need to upgrade your vehicle, expand your current living space, or pursue further education. What do? Borrow, and borrow some more, correct? Okay, so maybe not. If you have a budget, you are aware of the specific amounts of money that are coming into your possession as well as the amounts that are leaving your possession. You are able to make some preparations for that significant expense. However, if you do not have a plan for your finances in the form of a budget, you probably do not have a very clear picture of your current financial situation. As a result, you may be tempted to borrow additional money rather than deducting as much as possible from your income. Creating a budget and sticking to it will unquestionably result in financial and personal benefits in the long run. Putting together a budget can be a trying and time-consuming endeavor. Staying on budget can be even harder. After you have constructed your budget, it is imperative that you adhere to it. Today we are going to talk about top 10 tips for staying on budget. Before starting, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more future videos. Number 10. Be flexible. Keep in mind that life is full of surprises and that some events are beyond our ability to prevent or influence. When you make a budget, it is important to try to leave some room for extra money to cover unforeseen costs. Also, be kind to yourself if you occasionally end up spending more than you had planned. If you allow yourself to become overly frustrated over a mistake or two, it can be difficult to get back on track later on. If you follow these tips, it will be easier for you to stick to your budget. You can get ready to make a significant investment without having to borrow more money than is absolutely necessary, and you can maintain a positive mental attitude about your ability to keep your finances under control. Be sure to keep your budget up to date on a consistent basis and prioritize your purchases. Be aware of what aspects of your life are significant enough to warrant spending your own money. The longer you commit to sticking to a budget, the easier it will become, and you will see the fruits of your labor in the years to come. Number 9. Special accounts. If you find that you are continually withdrawing money from your savings, you should open a certificate of deposit or another account that has penalties for early withdrawal. If you are willing to let banks and other financial institutions use your money for a greater period of time, they will compensate you with a higher rate of interest. A 3-month note will earn you less interest on your savings than a 1-year certificate of deposit will. Number 8. Analyze your spending. Examine your spending habits alongside your budget and all of your receipts. Are there any costs that could be eliminated entirely? You could try bringing your lunch to work twice a week, or you could make arrangements with a friend to carpool. You may be able to increase the amount of money you have available for savings and purchases by simply reducing the amount you spend on eating out and on gas. Number 7. Balance your checkbook. When was the last time you balanced your checkbook? If you aren't already, it's a good practice to get into. A couple of minor errors can result in overdraft fees and an insufficient balance in your account if you are operating on a very limited spending plan. You can maintain a positive balance in your ledger by ensuring that it is always brought back into balance whenever you receive a new bank statement. Number 6. Keep your receipts. In order to create a budget, you most likely kept track of your expenditures for a few weeks. However, once the budget has been created, there is a possibility that there will be a temptation to stop tracking each and every expense. But keeping track of everything can really assist you in sticking to your financial plan. Keep all of your receipts and make a list of the locations where you spend money. If you keep track of the total amount of money that passes through your hands, you will be less likely to make frivolous purchases. Number 5. Pay down debt. If you have debt from credit cards, you might have the impression that paying it off will take an extremely long time. However, you can get ahead of your financial situation by selecting one credit card, preferably the one with the highest interest rate, and making the maximum payment possible on that card each and every month. If you have more than one credit card, you should make the minimum payment on each of those cards until you have paid off the first card in full. After that, select the following card and make an additional payment on it while maintaining the minimum payments on the other cards. If you only make the required minimum payment on each of your credit cards, you will end up paying significantly more interest than you may realize. Number 4. Share the responsibility. Check to see that you are not the only member of your household who is concerned about your financial situation. You are fighting a losing battle if, despite your best efforts, your spouse continues to put you further and further into debt through their spending. Have a conversation with one another and come up with a strategy to figure out how much spending money each of you ought to have. The next step is to evaluate your progress once a week to see how well you're doing. If the responsibility for the family's finances is shared among all members of the household, each person can make modest sacrifices that will add up to significant savings. It is not fair that all of the responsibility should fall on the shoulders of a single individual. Number 3. Cut bad habits. If you consume a significant amount of either alcohol or tobacco, you are aware of how costly engaging in risky behaviors can be. Stop smoking and drinking, and put the money you were spending on beer and cigarettes toward paying off other bills. You won't have to wait long before you notice a decrease in your bills and a marked improvement in your health. You will save money in the future on costs associated with medical care, and you may become eligible for lower premiums on your insurance policy. Number 2. Use cash. Get cash out of the ATM in amounts that are sufficient for 1 week at a time. Make up your mind that the money you have available each week is all that you will be able to spend on things that are considered to be luxuries but that you could get by without. It is much simpler to decline purchasing a pair of shoes that cost $60 when you know that doing so will use up the last of your cash for the week than it is when all you have to do is swipe your credit card. Number 1. Focus on savings. You should have your budget all set up by now. You are aware of the amount of money you possess, but you could still use some assistance in sticking to your financial plan. The following are some pointers that will assist you in remaining true to your financial plan and getting a head start on that significant acquisition. Find out how much of your monthly spending you can cut so that you can put money aside for savings. You can choose to have it deposited directly into your savings account or your investment account. Make regular contributions to your savings account each month, regardless of the location you choose for it to be housed. Those savings will end up being very beneficial to you in the long run. That's a wrap for today's video. What are your thoughts on our list? Let us know in the comments section below. And make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more future videos.